you, David and Sara Mueller, for joining today. A double first ever dad-daughter combo for grant writing unicorn interviews. It's great to have you. Can you give me some background context on, David, why I think you found this course first? So how did you find it? How do we even come into contact with each other?
Okay. For many years I've wanted to learn grant writing, and at different times I've purchased a book here and there. And then I want to say last winter, I was looking on Amazon for possible books to read on grant writing, and I saw yours and I ordered it. And after reading it, I was convinced that this is the best way to learn.
Cool. I did not realize actually that it started with the book. That's cool.
Yep.
So Sara, did the book get passed to you, or were you just told skip to the course?
No, yeah, I pretty much did. I mean, yeah, I'd taken a grant writing class in college, and my dad was always kind of pushing me to get into grant writing. And I kind of thought, why not? Like, if I don't go into it, at least it'll be good skill. Like, I'll learn good skills. So yeah, then my dad told me about it, and thought, what the hey? Yeah,
give it a try.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I've been pushing around this for years.
Yeah.
And we did it. Look, you have completely come through the finish line, and you can legitimately put that skill on your resume now.
Mm-hmm.
So you worked on a really cool project that we feature in the new course, that really fabulous prospectus that you put together. So can you give some context on some projects you've worked on to kind of learn your skill set?
So I started with working with the Door County Children of Hope, and that was kind of like a project that me and my dad were both working on together a little bit. But yeah, I was working with that, and I created that prospectus, and then I was also working with the Diversity Council, which is in Rochester, Minnesota. So I did some work with them, and we applied for $35,000 grant. We haven't heard back yet, but yeah, then I also made a prospectus for that too. But yeah, now I'm kind of doing a little bit of volunteer work for another nonprofit in Wisconsin here. So
sweet, that's exciting.
Yeah.
So I imagine this is because you just graduated from college, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, do you feel like this has helped you in terms of like opening some new doors as you like navigate next career opportunity?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I studied technical writing in college too, but I think, yeah, this kind of added some more skills and like helped enhance some skills that I already kind of had a basic knowledge on. But yeah, I also think that this is something that I do want to go into. And if I want to go with working with nonprofits, I think that having these grant writing skills will always be like something that will put me ahead of other people, for one, but also just be a good skill to have when applying for jobs in a nonprofit field.
Yeah, completely. So what would be your ideal 5 year from now picture?
Yeah, maybe
you're a college grad.
Yeah, probably doing a little bit of fundraising with a nonprofit, maybe doing a bit of like press or public relations and marketing. But yeah, just kind of like a little bit of everything, like maybe a community outreach coordinator or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool. These all tie together beautifully. So some sort of small, medium-sized.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Sweet. Okay, and then David, I know you had two main reasons that you were originally drawn to the course, and then coronavirus threw a big wrench in them. So do you want to explain what those were?
Right. One is for organizing some conferences on colleges. And of course, all the colleges shut down in the spring. So I'm just picking up on reconnecting with my contacts at these 4 colleges, and probably looking at 2021 as a time frame for holding the conferences. I'll probably start writing a grant soon for that, though I've narrowed down some foundations.
Oh, awesome.
The other part was with the daycare center that Sara and I have both been involved with, and the pandemic slowed that down a bit also. So, but that's picking up again now too.
And then was there a different one? I thought there was, oh wait, the daycare center is connected to the senior center,
Yes, to
right?
the nursing home that I run.
That's right. Okay. And I love that combo. It's such a, I think there's an awakening to that as a no-brainer solution. So
Yep.
your timing is right.
Yep. It's a very popular concept in Europe.
Hmm. So did you find some grants for that? What's your process? Where are you on the journey for getting that funded?
Sarah and I have both identified some foundations, and some of them are local, which will help. So we'll probably start writing those in a couple of weeks, actually.
Perfect. Yep. Get the local ones first and then start going regional.
Yes.
Going bigger.
Yep.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So what were some of the key takeaways from the course experience that you feel have been the most helpful as you get these projects moving forward?
Okay.
Well, I think my dad and I both agree that we learned like how important it is to be concise in your writing. That was probably a very important takeaway that I took from the class.
Yeah, me too. And I would say you really convinced me that we have to really be persuasive with our grant proposals, because there's so much competition for the money, and we have to be excited and enthusiastic, and realize that the foundations really want to help with good projects. So just to get that mutual enthusiasm together, and just be persuasive in presenting the proposal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that is something I also took, is that like learning grant writing, it's about being concise, but being persuasive, and also has a bit of like creative writing in there too. So that's kind of why I like writing grant writing too.
Yeah, it can be very different than the educational world you just came from.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've definitely learned how to use shorter sentences in my writing.
Oh man, me too. It's a continual journey, being like, how can I do this better and say this in less words?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really want that. So what would you say is one of the proudest accomplishments you've had thus far in your grant writing journey? Often people think like they have to have the whole thing funded before it's a victory. And we know that's not the process. It's actually a million little micro milestones that are met. So are there any that kind of stand out as big, either ahas personally or something that did feel like it was a great win?
I guess for me, and writing that $35,000 grant, when I was doing that, I was working with like the executive director of this nonprofit, and it was just like really cool to like all talk together and figure out how to rewrite their organization's language, and also doing the prospectus for the Door County Children of Hope too. Yes, I think that turned out really well. And
it did.
Yeah, and like working with like the executive director of that nonprofit and with my dad, it was a cool experience. And
it's still my favorite prospectus I've ever seen anyone do.
That's nice. For myself, well, Sarah's a bit ahead of me already, but I would say just learning the process of writing the grant and feeling confident about it, and having learned how to identify foundations that might be a good match, and narrowing that down so that you don't waste a lot of time. So I'm ready to put all that into action soon.
Yeah, completely. And you're also on a number of boards in your community, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
I think sometimes, even if it's not you in the thick of a grant writing phase, even understanding what's going on gives your organization a huge leg up for any one of them that you're volunteering on. Because most boards don't actually have a board member with grant writing knowledge.
Right. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I think now that I'm doing a little bit of work with this other nonprofit, I felt more confident when she was asking me to do some things, and I kind of already knew how to do them. So that felt pretty good too.
That with a nice dose of fake it till you make it, right, Sarah?
Yes.
True.
Never-ending journey. If you don't feel that, you're probably not pushing yourself.
True, yeah.
So what would you tell somebody that's considering taking grant writing from start to funded and they're on the fence? What would you share with them if they were asking you?
Mhm. Well, I have a long history of wanting to learn grant writing. So, I've researched a lot of different workshops and ways to learn. Um, and again, and I tried to do the self-taught method of just going through books and stuff. But I would say that the way you have your course structured and segmented, it really is the best way to learn. And I would say to anybody who's thinking about it to definitely do it. It's money well spent, and time and effort is well spent.
Thank you. That's really nice to hear.
Yeah, I agree. I really love the meetings that we have, but also, yeah, I guess just like the community of people that are there too. And I liked how you had dates of when we were supposed to get things done. So even if I didn't get it done, then it kind of just held me accountable and just pushed me to like try to get things done on that day, you know.
Mhm.
I think we all, as humans, we all love a good deadline, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. But I, Meredith, I'd also say that I really always look forward to your comments on what I wrote because it really helped. And, I always felt like you knew each student and what they were working on and their strengths, etc. So it, even though it's an online course, it's very personable.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder, I'm like, how am I keeping everybody straight? It's because the projects are so cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Everything that you guys are working on really stands out.
Yeah.
I even feel like in college during my grant writing class, like my professor would help me out to a certain point, but they always had other stuff going on, you know? So, yeah, I feel like it was really personable. And yeah, got really good feedback, like from you. But yeah, stuff I didn't get from a professor, you know?
Right, and that was an actual structured college class, not
Yeah.
a DIY online course. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Mhm.
Sweet. Well, so we are always trying to improve. So what could I do I mean, it's been evolving as well. So what do you think you would want to be able to continue to be served? Like what would keep helping you? Or what do you wish was different? Or what should have stayed that maybe we did away with?
I would say for myself, I mean, I think it's really valuable having access to the website, and to the coursework that we went through. So being able to review,
Mhm.
and I think it's a good idea, the Facebook group. So those are, I don't know if there's anything else that you could do at this point.
Yeah. I agree. I also love that you still have access to the website and you can still see everything that we learned in case you do want to go back. And I do like the Facebook group too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think as we grow, it'll just get more and more vibrant.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So you guys you're kind of in on the early days. You'll be like, I was there.
I haven't said too much on the Facebook page yet, but I read it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll take a screenshot of us right now and be like, here we all are. Tag you. Cool. Well, if you think of something else that could make it, continue to be of help to you, I certainly think about like when David, you start rolling into grant applications. That's something I think about is how do we help you into the future when you actually go and get stuck on something because it's inevitable. Obviously, the Facebook group's trying to help with that, but something I think
Right.
about. So
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, are you thinking of anything else?
no, the only other thing that I'm thinking about is, and this would be more relevant for potentially Sarah, but I've been just wondering if we shouldn't create like a certification for how to start a grant writing freelance business.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Way more intensive, like
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Logo
Yeah.
development, website development, insurance, how to do contracting. It's like, sure, you got to develop the grant writing as a technical skill set, but also the entrepreneurial and managerial skills that go with having your own side hustle or full-time business.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about that, and we'll see if anyone on this, like the new website, finds that interesting, and if they do, I'm have like a survey form, and I'll try to do interviews with them, and if it does, like I think I might try to roll that out winter of next year. But it would be, just because it's been an interesting group, there's actually still so much demand for grant writers, but it's still very hard for everybody to get matched up, and for some reason.
Yeah.
So you have a skill set, Sarah, for example, that like it doesn't have to just be served locally. You could literally be working with projects anywhere you wanted.
True. That'd be cool.
So that's kind of something I'm thinking about, but it's a kind of it goes down a very specific niche, you know?
Yeah, that's interesting. You should maybe pursue it, take a good look at it.
Yeah, that's the plan. Well, sweet. Any other words of advice or thoughts?
I pretty much covered everything I have. Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I would just again repeat, take the class. It's so good. I really enjoyed it. And you're really a great teacher.
Thank you. That's so nice. Yeah. Also it's funny because I don't identify with the word teacher, but everybody's like, but my sister's a teacher. She's like a Spanish teacher. She went to school to become a teacher. I'm like, she's a teacher. But then I was like, what else am I doing? It's obviously teaching. Just call myself a teacher. It's a teacher. So yeah, well, thank you so much for this awesome interview. It was great being able to just kind of catch up with you guys. I think your story is inspiring for others that feel like they want to get started and they don't know where to go, or they feel like it's just too far away. Like Sarah, you just did a $35,000 grant. Like you did it.
Yeah, that was
within
cool.
months. So
True, I know. Yeah.
So that's a milestone we're celebrating. Let us know if you get it, and if you don't, do the debrief meeting. And it's not that you failed. No one bats 100%.
That's true. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.